I'm 12 and I jerk off a lot every day and I want to try anal masturbating. I've realized my anus is small. What do I do first? Will it hurt? I want it to feel amazing. Now, you'll notice on the right of these message boards, by the way, this is all public. And the reason why this is very important is because these pop up on Google search. And this is I'm not the first person to notice this. A few people who are researching, one of them we'll talk about recently is Aldo Buttazzoni, looking at how tech companies prey on children. The reason why this is significant is because Quora is one of the highly ranked websites. Let me take that off for a second. That pops up on a Google search. So you type in something very basic that could just be like, hey, I have like a pimple on my crotch. Like, how do I pop it? Well, what it'll do is it'll show the question and the answer, and then under it, it'll have related questions on your Google search from Quora. And that's how these were first discovered, was related searches. Now, what's crazy is if you look on the right here, a lot of the questions are prefaced always with minors. I'm a 15-year-old male and I want to try anal on myself. How do I go about it? What should a young teenager use for experimental with anal? I'm 16-year-old bi guy. I want to try anal masturbation. And believe it or not, this is just it's a bad word to say, the tip of the iceberg here. But this is a very tip of a very long and dark rabbit hole that the FBI should be aware of. And please don't raid my house, or Lisa's house for this. But I went ahead and took the guy search. She took the girl search, and we looked at this. And it is insane. Not that the questions exist, but that the answers are from adults. Let's just start there before we go any further down this hole. Why are adults on the internet talking to teenagers, 13 and 12-year-olds, about their anuses publicly? Chase.
Because they're pedophiles, man, and they probably get off on talking to kids about sex. I mean, there's a lot of this. I was on, you found me from that clip from the Whatever podcast, and on the last episode that I did of the Whatever Dating podcast, episode 33, there was a girl that was on the podcast, and she was like, we were talking about dating, and we were talking about how men generally prefer younger women, right? This is like a trait among almost all men. And she was accusing everybody of being pedophiles. And I was like, that's crazy projection. And later on in the show, it was revealed that this girl had actually sold her clothing to pedophiles online from when she was a young girl. And there's this entire market for all of these pedophiles that are online to buy clothing from women from when they were young girls. And I think the reality is that there's just a ton of pedophiles that are hanging out online, and they want to prey on young children. They want to prey on 15-year-old kids that are talking about, anal masturbation and whatever else. And it's fucked up, man. And at the end of the day, I'm like, why aren't these big tech companies censoring this content? Why is this allowed to just go willy-nilly? Like, why are adults allowed to talk to kids about sex on the internet? It doesn't make sense to me.
Because they've aligned themselves with the LGBTQ stuff, and every regular mom or soccer mom doesn't want to be called a bigot, doesn't want to be seen as not having a heart. They don't look into these things. Like, I'm a mom of 2 children, and I didn't know half this stuff was out there. People don't want to see the darkness, but it's everywhere, and they are coming for your kids, and they're growing because now they can collaborate. Like, one of the things that I was looking at when going into this course, if you would find one and then you would see who was following that person, there was a whole network of them, and it went on and on and on. And so, like, regular moms, regular people don't know this is going out there, and they just want to be empathetic. They just want to say, oh, love everybody and be kind to everybody. They don't want to see the darkness. And so it's allowing these people to grow and grow and grow. The LGBTQ cult is what is a catalyst for these predators to come out from the depths of the earth.
Yeah, and I need to be really careful here. I'm not going to put this on the screen because I just don't want to. I don't want to risk this. I just want to read this to you guys. I did blur it out, but the way YouTube's been coming after this channel, I'm not trying to do anything sensitive. But somebody asked, they said they were 13. This is on Quora. I'm 13, is blah, blah, blah. Here's the size of my penis. Is that small? And the response is from someone named Juan Ramos that says, I suppose it is possible, but my penis is 5.5 inches in length and 5 1/4 in girth, and I'm an adult, and proceeds to post images of an erect penis up and down, like both of the images. Now, if you scroll down, it has 111 responses. They're registered to adults. They have profile pictures. These are actually adults. And they clarify, knowing that they're talking to a child, they know they're talking to a kid. There are not pictures of the children, so there's not like that. And this is what I want to say. It could not be a child posting this stuff. It could be an adult trying to lure children in by using the age. So it doesn't really matter where you're at on this. The place where you should be is in a wood chipper, broken down back into your core atomic particles. But that's the only way I'm an evolutionist. I don't believe that we evolved from particles, but I think that pedophiles should devolve into them. But realistically speaking, there's that. And then it goes a step further. Let me see this. Yeah, so then it says, what do teenage boys' armpits look like? And then there's a teenager who's showing his armpit hair, barely growing them in, and the response to that image is about 120 penises. So, and I verified the accounts. That's an actual teenager's account. It appears to be they're regularly talking about video games, different types of things on the account, and then they're constantly getting responses from these adults. None of these images are taken down. None of the accounts are suspended. We're going to go down the rabbit hole further. This is the tip. This is where it just starts on Quora, one of the most visited websites in the world. To the point, Lisa, I don't know if you agree with me, but it appears that these are like pedophile rings, or like just unhindered predators being allowed to send lewd and obscene material to a minor, which I'm pretty sure is a felony in this country.
Oh, it gets worse. I mean, there's one where it's like, how old are your children? That's all it says, is how old are your children? And people start listing them. And then you can see as the comments go down, they start talking about how they want to sleep with them, how they've had their daughter. Have you had daughters with your daughter? Yes, these are my kids. I've been sleeping with my daughter for however long. She birthed you. I mean, it is outright, like they sit there and say, I've had sex with my underage daughter. I've birthed babies with my underage daughter. And it's, and you think it's something as innocuous as like, how old are your children? It seems to be a whole entire pedophile ring. And if you look at the people that follow these, they're friends with other pedophiles who are also openly or following other pedophiles that are openly saying the same thing. I mean, there's so many instances of admitted pedophilia on here that I saw that have not been taken down. There was like 1 or 2 accounts that I've seen were banned. But if you look at the people that followed them, those accounts weren't banned and they had admitted to pedophilia as well. So I have no idea how this is allowed to exist at all.
Look at this. Look at
there's
that.
like teen groups. So into teen groups and go on there. It's
right.
unbelievable.
I mean, these are not random anon accounts. It's a 14-year-old asking about, making a artificial penis to masturbate with. And then somebody's like, I'm 14 myself, which I doubt. And then there's this guy named Jerry Rogers who's taking a shirtless pic, who runs a group called Gay Men Sauna and is explaining how to use, how to do this. And like, it's really, and this is why I bring this up, because not because the internet's got plenty of junk. It's that this is what Google recommends. So this is at the top. This is not like you've got to go into Quora, type in, I'm 14 years old, type in, like I said, if you look on the right here, it's these related searches and they come up no matter what you type in. If you're typing in any type of question about the body, about anything, it immediately funnels you into pedophile chat rooms. That's what's so crazy about it. It's like an instant, like, basic question about genitals, basic question about hygiene, basic question for girls and for boys, and boom, the related searches. I don't encourage you to try it though, unless you're with the FBI to visit, but it is crazy how quickly it'll pull you into a rabbit hole, and you'll find that there are organized groups and message boards of straight up active pedophiles that are not being targeted. But if you're offensive and you make a rape joke or you make a gay joke or you make fun of trans people, Quora will remove your posts. But if you're actually trying to have sex with children as an adult, that's okay to them. That's totally fine. We all may agree, and we may want to completely do away with people who would harm anyone. There is one person who probably would never hurt you, and that would be your pet dog. And one of our sponsors of our show today is amazing, and I love it because I love my dog, Gunther. My dad's currently taking care of him. They're being best little friends, living in the little house, hanging out. But I love my dog, and your dog loves you. And why would you feed your dog something less that's actually probably draining his or her energy and also causing gut problems? The truth is that most dog food that's out there actually contains a product that is actually killing your dog. It is called meat meal. It's even in the high quality refrigerated sections. This is literal garbage made with packing materials, rotten meat, and it's probably in your dog's food, even if it says it's, whole. Just like with eggs, it says it's free range eggs or cage free or all of these things. It has to say pasture raised to really mean that they might even treat the hens well. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, just because you have natural organic food doesn't mean it's not literally killing your dog. So if you love your dog and you want to find out right now if this ingredient is in the food that you feed your dog, go to the link dogfoodexposed.com/offensive. That's DOGFOODEXPOSED.com/the word offensive, OFFENSIVE. Dr. Marty has a manual and a guide that can download that can tell you right now if you're being a bad dog owner. Let's just be honest. And also you need to look at the foods and the alternatives that he has, because let's let these little dogs live the best lives possible. And I'm a big proponent of letting our dogs, loving our dogs, and also feeding them so that they don't shit all over your rug, which is actually a pretty positive thing, and actually have whole full stools and feel good and live long. And if just want to let you know, if your dog's been feeling lethargic recently, it might be because it has this meat meal in its food. So go to dogfoodexposed.com/offensive, and Dr. Marty will get you hooked up. I encourage you to check it out. Get the link, send it to your mom, send it to your mother-in-law, anyone who has a dog. Just do it, support the show. It's really awesome, and you'll thank yourself later when you don't have to clean your carpet.